Good morning, algebra. So today we are going to look at lesson 2.3. Sorry, trying to get that on the screen, which is how do we solve inequalities involving multiplication and division. So I covered in another lesson that another video, that you want to reverse the inequality symbol when you multiply or divide by a negative number. All right, if you can highlight that, star it, do something to make it stick off the page, okay? So when we multiply or divide by a negative, we reverse the symbol. I cover why in another one. So if you want to look up that other video, awesome. If not, that is totally fine. So here we have our first question. X divided by 8 is greater than negative 5. We want to get x by itself. Well, we are dividing by 8. What's the opposite of division? Multiply. So that means we need to multiply both sides by 8. So times it by 8, times it by 8. That means we have x, because 8 over 8 is 1. So we're left with x. And it's going to be greater than, well, negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. So x is greater than negative 40. So I'm going to do negative 40 here. I always start with my open circle, right? And then we need to figure out which direction do we shade. Well, we would have negative 41 here and negative 39 here. You could also do like negative 30 and negative 50. I don't care what numbers are on either side, but it helps us to have those numbers. All right, so try to write them down. So now I have to think about which is true. Is negative 41 greater than negative 40, or is negative 39 greater than negative 40? Sorry, I'm having a hard time writing numbers this morning. So, which is better, basically, is what we're saying. Which is better? Is it better to owe $39 or to owe $41? This side's better, right? Owing less is better. So that means I'm going to shade this direction. And sometimes, using other colors is good too. I'll do that for the next one. So with this one, we have 2 is less than y divided by 3. I want to get y by itself. We're dividing by a negative 3, so we need to multiply both sides by negative 3. So we need to have y on this side, because these guys won out. Negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. Warning, warning, warning. We just did what? Multiplied by a negative number. That means that our inequality symbol here is going to reverse. It's going to flip. Loop-de-loop is kind of how I draw it. So now we have that negative 6 is greater than y. So another way of writing that is y is less than negative 6. So I'm going to put my negative 6 here. This would be a negative 5. This would be a negative 7. I'm going to do an open dot always. And then, do we have an equal to? Nope, so it stays open. And which way do I need to shade? I need to shade to the left side. Well, which is true? Negative 7 is less than negative 6, or negative 5 is less than negative 6? Which is worse, to owe $7 or owe $5? Owing 7. So I'm going to shade that direction. Sometimes students like to do just an arrow on top like that. That's fine too. I like to color. All right, let's take a look at this one right here. Again, we're trying to get y by itself. So we have negative 7 times y is less than or equal to negative 35. In order to get this guy, we need to divide negative 7 on both sides. So we have a less than or equal to. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and this should be an 8. Oh, and I just made the classic mistake. I hope you guys spotted it. And then this would be a y on this side. Did we just divide by a negative, though? Yes. So that means we have to flip a roux. So it is not less than or equal to. It's greater than or equal to. So this is y greater than or equal to 8. This is what happens when I'm trying to hurry. Sorry, guys. So we got an 8 there. We got a 7 there. We got a 9 here. We always start with an open circle. It's got an equal to, so we fill it in. And we are shading to the right in this case. We want to be to the greater side. All right, let's do this one next. We have 1 is greater than or equal to negative 1/10 z. Be careful. There is a time symbol in there. So we want to divide both sides by a negative 1/10. All right, divide by a negative 1/10. Now, we just divided by a negative. That means that our symbol here is going to flip-flop. Sometimes it's easier to do it first. And then we know that this will be a 1z on our right here. So on our left, we've got keep, change, flip. So that turns into 1 times negative 10 over 1. Well, 1 times negative 10 is going to be a negative 10. So that means that we have negative 10 is less than or equal to z. Z is greater than or equal to negative 10 is another way of saying that. So I'm going to start with my open dot. We have an equal to, so it fills in. And then I want to shade this direction. And then let's do one more for good measure. How about this one right here? So we've got x divided by negative 5 is less than or equal to negative 5. I need to multiply each side by negative 5 times by negative 5. Warning, we just multiplied by a negative number. So let's just flip our inequality symbol. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is just a 1x. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25. So I'm going to put my 25 down here, and let's go 30 on this side and 20 on that side. I start with an open dot. It has an equal to, so I fill it in, and I am shading toward the greater side, which is towards the right. Let's look at, actually try a couple. Now let's look at some word problems. All right, let's look at some word problems. So up here, you earn $9.50 per hour at your summer job. We want to write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work to buy a digital camera that costs $247. By the way, this is from when I was a kid, because I know minimum wage these days is like $15 or something. But when I was a kid, it was not that high. So we know that we're going to have the camera cost, and we need to have more than or equal to the camera cost, right? We need more than or equal to. And we also know that we have our hours times our wage. However many hours we work, we times that by how much we get paid per hour, and we want that to be more than how much the camera costs. So we have some unknown amount of hours. Our wage, we just said, was right here. It's $9.50, and the camera costs $247. So we have 9.5x is greater than or equal to 247. I'm going to divide both sides by 9.5. So we have, oops, forgot my calculator. 247 divided by 9.5 is 26. So we need to work 26 or more hours over the course of the summer in order to earn enough for our camera. If I graph that, I've got my 26 here. I start with an open dot. This would be 25. This would be 27. The equal to fills it in, and I'm going to shade this direction. Email me if you have questions. There are 2 more inequalities here that I want you to try solving for yourself.